In the 20 years since Bones first premiered, the beloved crime procedural TV show has only become more iconic, and the best episodes to rewatch today prove that. Starring Emily Deschanel and David Boreanaz as Dr. Temperance Brennan and Agent Seeley Booth, Bones revolves around the partners' work piecing together seemingly unsolvable murders, and the series relies on the characters' chemistry. Though there are harsh realities of rewatching Bones today, this doesn't lessen the impact and excitement of watching Booth and Brennan solve crimes and fall for each other all these years later. All the best episodes of Bones highlight the dynamic between Deschanel and Boreanaz and show that when the series is at its best, it crafts compelling mysteries and appeals to the emotions of the audience. The Santa in the Slush. Season 3, Episode 9. Brennan and Booth standing under mistletoe in Bones. There are some Bones episodes that are easy to skip on a rewatch, but The Santa in the Slush isn't one of them. The Season 3 episode is a festive installment that might not feature the most surprising case, but it does have some great character moments. The kiss that Booth and Brennan share under the mistletoe is one of the most memorable parts of the season. As the pair tries to track down the killer who murdered a Santa impersonator, Booth and Brennan engage in some of their classic banter and debate about religion and holidays, with both parties learning something by the end. The Santa in the Slush also demonstrates how important family is to both of them, hinting at their future together. The Crack in the Code. Season 7, Episode 6. Camille in Bones episode, The Crack in the Code. Though the early seasons of Bones are regarded as the stronger installments of the series, the Season 7 episode, The Crack in the Code, proves why the formula and premise of the show worked long-term. Bones is always at its best when there's a difficult puzzle for the team to solve, pushing each of the characters to their limits and bringing out their most innovative sides. The Crack in the Code does this, allowing each character to get their moment to shine, as the case grows more complex with every new reveal and piece of evidence that's discovered. The man behind the murders, Christopher Pellant, eventually becomes one of the best villains of the later seasons, and it's in The Crack in the Code that the audience learns what he's capable of. The Hole in the Heart. Season 6, Episode 22. Booth and Brennan in Bones episode, The Hole in the Heart. Notable both for its tragic plot twist and the unforgettable development in the relationship between Booth and Brennan, The Hole in the Heart is well known as a game-changing episode. The lasting effects of Vincent's death have a huge impact on Bones, as Booth and Brennan finally embrace their feelings and commit to being a couple in the aftermath of the violence. The Bones interns are a harsh reality of the show, as the revolving cast of supporting characters are underdeveloped and are often treated as expendable by Brennan. However, the love that Brennan feels for her staff is obvious in The Hole in the Heart, as even though Vincent wasn't on the show for long, his final moments set the show on a new trajectory. Judas on a Pole. Season 2, Episode 11. Booth and Brennan in Bones episode, Judas on a Pole. In Judas on a Pole, Bones dives into the intricacies of Brennan's relationship with her father, Max, while Zach defends his doctoral dissertation. The murder that Judas on a Pole revolves around is particularly gruesome, and it quickly becomes clear that this death is far from random, as it is connected not only to the FBI but to Brennan's mother's murder. The iconic nature of the episode has allowed it to go down in Bones' history as one of the best installments of Season 2, and gives Deschanel and Boreanaz a lot to do. Their relationship always grows more fraught when Brennan's father appears, as his criminal activities are something Brennan would rather overlook, while Booth feels it's his duty to bring Max in, the parts in the sum of the whole. Season 5, Episode 16. Brennan and Booth talking while wearing coats outside in Bones. One of the best parts of Bones is how long the show prolongs the payoff of the romantic connection between Booth and Brennan. However, in Season 5, Episode 16, The Parts in the Sum of the Whole, the series couldn't ignore the tension, choosing to throw the entire story into chaos by revealing the first case that the partners ever worked on. The flashback provides new context about the will-they-won't-they dynamic between Booth and Brennan, who have been refusing to admit their feelings despite the clear affection and chemistry. It's an incredibly vulnerable episode that builds empathy for both characters while making it impossible not to stand up and yell at the TV in an attempt to get the characters to realize they must be together. The Verdict in the Story. Season 3, Episode 13. Brennan in the Bones episode, The Verdict in the Story. The early seasons of Bones touch upon Brennan's past and her fraught relationship with her father, Max, who pops in and out of her life at the beginning of the show. Their dynamic comes to a head in The Verdict in the Story, which pushes Brennan further than ever, as Max is put on trial for murder and Brennan makes the decision to defend him and try to win the case in his favor. Bones doesn't always lean into the legal aspects of the criminal cases, but when it does, there's often a personal connection to the outcome of the trial, as in The Verdict in the Story. Though the way the case unfolds isn't the most realistic, it shows that Brennan can be ruled by her emotions and demonstrates the strides she's taken since the beginning of the show. The Man in the Fallout Shelter. Season 1, Episode 9. Bones and Booth sitting in the lab in the Bones Christmas episode. Like the Santa in the slush, the man in the fallout shelter takes advantage of the stakes and emotional intensity of the holidays, allowing the audience to get to know the characters a little bit better. The man in the fallout shelter sets the tone for the holiday episodes to come and is an amazing Season 1 episode to revisit because it brings Booth and Brennan closer. The man in the fallout shelter is a bottle episode, as the Jeffersonian staff and Booth are trapped in the lab over the holidays after being exposed to a toxin. This sees the characters bring their walls down for some funny moments while also showcasing how the team can solve a decades-old murder through their ingenuity, and this case has a significant, heartfelt impact: aliens in a spaceship. Season 2, Episode 9. Emily Deschanel as Agent Brennan driving a car with T.J. Thine as Hodgins in the backseat in Bones. Every good crime procedural knows how to mine the fears and anxieties of the audience to increase the tension and impact of the events on screen. Bones is far from the only series of the genre to include an episode about being buried alive, but Aliens in a Spaceship is one of the most effective takes on the trope that we've seen on network TV. When Brennan and Hodgins are trapped underground, running out of air, Bones follows their work, trying to extend their time and survive as long as they can, while the rest of the team works around the clock to find them. Watching Booth tirelessly search for Brennan cements their connection, and Bones does an amazing job of making the episode's stakes feel viscerally real.